back to the vlogging thing. I'm doing a vlog with Andrew Madore from Synergist Digital Media. He's driving out here. I think he's based somewhere in Atlantic City or somewhere around that area. But he has a bunch of meetings in not too far area, so he's driving out here. And we're going to meet at the local baseball stadium here. Andrew's a good guy. Looking forward to talking to him about a couple topics around UX and also some black hat ideas. So it should be fun, and I hope you like it. Maybe some of this drone video from this area will make it even more enjoyable. We're super lucky to have this video sponsored by Zoic. Please watch their ad and support them.
Using their AI and all of the different tools that they have, we're actually able to increase our revenues 3, 4, and 5 times.
We're not only weathering the storm, but we're actually growing right now.
All right, social distance vlog. Trying to get this setup working right. This is my third time doing one of these, second time with these new cameras. So thank you for coming out. We're at Boulder Stadium. It's called Palisades Credit Union Park. I paid a lot of tax dollars to get this here. I live in this area. So Andrew, thanks for coming out again. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man.
You go by Drew, right?
Yes.
Drew. So can you tell people by looking at that camera over there who you are, what you do, how people can learn more about you?
My name is Drew Madore. I am the CEO, founder of Synergist Digital Media, also the founder of the Primer Group LLC. But Synergist Digital Media is a digital marketing company that does websites, SEO, pretty much anything digital marketing, paid, social, things like that.
And you've been doing the search marketing thing for how many years now?
Over 15 years. 15
years. So
yes.
You've been around in the industry for a while.
Since the beginning, like you.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're not so active on social media, or you are?
I kind of hide on social media because I know how social media works, but for clients and things like that, I use obviously social
and for
media.
this vlog also, you'll get out there.
Exactly.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So you've been doing this for 15 years or so. What's changed, in your opinion, over the course of the years? I know one of your topics was talking about black hat stuff a little bit. So I guess the black hat space is probably one of the most changed areas, you think?
Yeah.
In what way? Do you want to say? Or?
So the way I approach it is you look at black hatters kind of like hackers, where hackers will know systems, infrastructure, networks, and things like that almost better than a lot of the product providers and the manufacturers for those systems. So when you do black hat, not that I'm saying that you do specific black hat for clients, but when you do black hat type SEO, it gives you a bearing on where Google can go, like how far out of the lane you can go and still stay within guidelines. You know, you could sit there and make spammy links all day. They still do work to a degree. It's not going to be recommended for, doing it for clients or money sites or anything like that. But doing it that way shows you like, okay, well, if I have this certain type of website and it links to this certain type of website, I get this certain type of result. How can I bring that over onto a white hat side and get the same results?
So how's that changed like from 15 years ago?
Well, 15 years ago, you could just fire up GSA, search engine ranker, and blast a website with 1 million links, and you would get to the first page of Google. Since Google implemented RankBrain, Panda, Penguin, things like that, obviously they're making it harder. They want their search results from a perspective of the user side, not the digital marketer side. So they want to be able to serve up the best results for the user. They have to constantly try to stay one step ahead of the black hatters, where the black hatters are also trying to stay one step ahead as well. It's changed a lot because Google has gotten privy to all of it, plus they're using a lot of AI. But there are still some techniques that you can use in a white hat way that still are very effective to this day that we employ for our clients as well. Again, not black hat, not spammy, but with the same mindset.
So in short, it's just much harder these days than it
Absolutely.
was. Anybody could have done black hat SEO 15 years ago, but
yeah,
now it's like...
Now you can, but you're constantly playing that cat and mouse game.
Right.
You could build thousands of links to a website, get it to the first page of Google, And it would sit there for at least a couple months until the next update happened, and then, you know, it fluctuated. Now Google's real time almost. One day you could be at number 1, the next day you could be at number 3, the following day you could be on number 10, and then back to number 1 again, because it's constantly fluctuating. Those techniques back then were not hard to do. It wasn't very expensive. I had a lot of Amazon sites. I had a lot of affiliate sites.
Yeah.
A lot of us made good money back then doing that because we knew we would have a churn and burn site. You know, you put the site out there, you get it going, you know Google's going to penalize it eventually, but you're also working on 5 other sites, you know, next in line. Those days are kind of done.
Right.
But the whole idea of taking websites, building them out, and using them strictly for testing, that still, I feel, is okay. And that's kind of where, on Synergist side, that's where we get our bearings of, okay, these techniques still seem to have rank value, these other techniques do not, you know, and then we can kind of know where we can drive within our lanes.
So since we're like talking about, I know you wanted to talk about UX first, but UX is kind of boring, right?
Yeah. UX is boring.
Especially when you're talking about black hat stuff. So are there any like techniques that you would say, I don't know if you want to share it on camera or not, and you know, that you want to discuss that maybe you want to share that people should try out on the black hat side a little bit? Or you don't have to, you can say, you know what, it's not nothing is really working these days.
Okay, so here's one. PBNs were all the rage back in like 2010, 11, 12. Google obviously got privy to that, started, you know, putting less of an emphasis on those certain type of backlinks or removing them altogether out of their algorithm. One of the things that we do is if you build a legitimate website that is industry-based, you can put real content, take care of it like it's a real website, build it like a real website. You could technically use it as your own PBN for other websites as well, as long as you're not spammy about it. A lot of digital marketers in the space do that nowadays. I've seen it over and over again. But the thing is, Google won't penalize it unless you have too many outbound links or something that kind of raises a flag. But if you build these sites up in a way and not buying an expired link, going with a brand new link, building it organically, in 5 years, you would have a really powerful site that you could then use to help juice up client sites or other sites that you're working on.
All right, because you have more leverage with that current site. So that, I wouldn't, I mean, it's basically looking at link building, which for some reason, over the years, link building has been like kind of tainted. It's like, now if you say link building, it's kind of like, oh, you're a black hat. But it's not really black hat tech. It's building, you know, it's building like an audience for a website. It's building traffic to our website.
Exactly.
So I hear what you're saying in terms of like, all right, you build up a website over 5 years. That's what any company has to do. You have to build up your brand over 5 years, and then if you want to build another brand off of that, it's much easier to, because let's say Kim Kardashian, who's built over, I guess Kim Kardashian, right? She built her brand over how many years? If she starts another brand around perfume or whatever it might be, she could do that in a matter of no time. Whereas somebody like me who builds perfume, nobody's going to buy it. So
exactly. So one of the things that I've noticed a lot of digital marketing agencies do is they will cater to a specific industry. So like, let's say automotive. It wouldn't be outside the scope to create a website like a Jalopnik, maybe not as big as Jalopnik, but something like that, that's industry news, things like that, taking care of it like a real website, building it up like a real website. But if you drop a link or two that are going to client websites just for that value, I don't see the faults in that. Whereas if you're buying expired links, you're paying $45 to some Indian company to build you out, and that's just not sustainable. The sustainability is in building out these websites, getting them to a point where you could drop a couple links on there, and it adds tremendous value for the client, not only with organic traffic and visitors to the site that would click over, but also the follow from the link juice.
So I guess the differentiation point in terms of what's black hat and what's not is, are you putting real effort into building this brand? Are you building real effort into building the site? And are you using your own leverage around what you've already built over the course of years to, you know, boost up anything else that you're trying to build?
Well, it goes back to the argument, and you can go into the forums all day, you can go on the Reddit, whatever, and you'll have the white hatters fighting the black hatters. I don't care how you look at it, building links is still going against Google's guidelines. But Google also understands that, you know, marketers are building businesses off of their backs. So to say that I'm a white hat, you know, digital marketer, it's not right because it's all black hat. If it goes against Google's guidelines, it's considered black hat.
This guy literally has to just drive right here.
And that truck, that's white hat.
Yeah, but I don't know if they can. These mics should have picked that up nicely. Let us know in the comment section if you heard all that. So let's move on to talking about something more, I guess, Google friendly, more PC in the SEO world.
Little PC.
We're gonna talk about Trump. No, I'm just joking.